Alright, welcome back ladies and gentlemen to the Chupacabra tutorials channel. I'm your host Larry, and today we're going to be talking about what is the best source of power inside of Subnautica 2. Because they all have certain drawbacks, and they all have certain benefits depending on where you want to build your base, but which one really is the best? Because we've got solar panels, we've got bioreactors, we've got thermal plants that you can put up next to like lava, and also hydroelectric turbines, but those require you to have one of these pre-existing sort of water currents that goes through underwater. So which one is the best? And the simple answer is, if you have the availability and you're right next to it, the best source of power right now is probably the thermal plant, just because it produces the highest amount of output, and honestly, it really doesn't need to be refilled with fuel. You just got to find a place that's so hot it'll probably kill you, like this little lava pocket over here. And these thermal plants will produce 1 to 16 energy, similar to how the hydroelectric turbine will produce up to 12 energy a second, depending on where you place them. So with that in mind, if we stick one down here inside this lava zone, the closer we get it to an active little lava fissure down here, the more energy it will actually produce. The only trouble is finding a spot where you can like meaningfully stick them right now is kind of a pain in the butt. But if you can, they will produce a solid 16 power depending on how close, and if you get them further away, it even shows you on the graphic how much power it's generating based upon its proximity to sources of heat. Closer it gets, 16 power, further away, nothing. Now the main issue is not everywhere in the game is likely to have an active lava vent right next to it. I think the developers have been very generous so far in providing a lot of weird little pockets with lava zones, especially this early on in the game, but as you go further in the game, that might not become as readily available. So the next really good option, the second best in my opinion, with the thermal plant being the first best, is the hydroelectric turbine. So if you pop out of your ship next to these hydroelectric turbines, pretty much if it functions properly at all, it's either yes or a no, it'll produce 12 electricity. And just to kind of compare these, the thermal plant costs 3 titanium, 3 copper, and 3 gold, and the hydroelectric turbine is very similar, 3 titanium, 3 copper, and 3 silver. So it's not really cheaper, but it's just an alternative depending on the availability you have of materials at the time. And then the last option we have is actually the bioreactor that you can put inside of your base. And this is probably my least favorite way of getting electricity because it requires you to have a fuel source to power it. So when you stick this in your base, it's very expensive. So first off, to build one of these bad boys, you're going to need 2 titanium ingots and 2 copper ingots, which is expensive compared to the other ones. And the other thing you're going to need to have is you're going to need to have some kind of bioreactor fuel. Now, when you're creating a bioreactor fuel, you're going to need to use a processor. And then inside of the processor, you've got different biofuel bricks that you can make based upon what materials you have available. So if you're right next to the coral crabs, crab poop is one of the cheapest. If you're next to pent, which I have some growing on the roof, that's a decent option. And you've also got biofuel made from fibrous pulp. So I'm just going to make it from pent and load that up. And then another option that you have is you can actually put living things inside of there to fuel it instead. And the sort of trade-off you have is that these things all have to break down and rot inside of the bioreactor in order to fuel it. And they don't last forever. I don't know the exact time, but this thing's already starting to tick down. And this is only creating 10 power right now. So it's that expensive and it requires constant fuel only to produce 10 power, or you can put it into overdrive mode, which is super loud, and I don't like the sound in my base, but it's super loud and it produces 20 energy, but the fuel that you put in here lasts half the duration. Now, obviously, if you make a fuel brick, like if I take out, I guess I can't take that out, but if you take a fuel brick that's been created inside of the processor, it'll last much, much, much longer. But again, you have to be constantly producing fuel, which takes more energy, and then you have to be constantly feeding it into the machine and babysitting it just for it to take up this much space, require this many materials, and produce only 10 to 20 power. So not my favorite. Now, the last option on our list here today is probably most people's first go-to, which is a boatload of solar panels. Now, the trouble with solar panels, despite them being cheap, and that's sort of one of the only benefits to solar panels, is when you're first building bases, they're super cheap, super quick, and during the day, they make a super load of power. They make 1 to 8 power, which for as cheap as they are, you make 2 of them for the price of like 1 hydroelectric turbine or even 3 of them. They're doing pretty well. But the drawback is they don't work when you're below a certain depth, and they only work during the day, which means you have to have a constant sort of backup power supply of these battery units on the wall in order for them to work. So that's my number 3. And my current ranking is the best one is the thermal plant, because that one produces the most, doesn't require any energy reloading, you don't have to refuel it, and it just produces a lot. My second go-to is the hydroelectric turbine, because there's just these currents literally everywhere, and if you build your base at a certain depth, they're just literally everywhere and easy to make. Now, I will say the only thing that really makes a lot of this possible inside of Subnautica 2 is that you can build these power transmitters everywhere, and these things have basically no meaningful power fall off. You can literally just stick them anywhere you want, and you can daisy chain them back to your base, so you can pull power from the other side of the ocean if you want, and slowly build these little power transformers, and they'll allow you to chain power from just about anywhere. And if you don't mind that, you can start with a thermal power plant, and it doesn't matter where your base is, you can just slowly chain it back to base. And I do know people in previous games that have done that. So yeah, that's it for this one, ladies and gentlemen. The kings, I would say, of this, because they're basically neck and neck, are the thermal plant and the hydroelectric plant or turbine. But I would say the best one is the thermal plant, and that's only by a small margin of about 4 power per tick if you put them in optimal positions and have a base that's not annoyingly far away from a thermal vent. That said, you still have to be next to a current in order to make use of the hydroelectric turbines, so they're not perfect either, but they're still eons better than the inefficiencies that are the bioreactor. It honestly needs a tweak or needs to be able to be converted into a nuclear power plant later. So that'd be it for this one, ladies and gentlemen. I've been your host, Larry. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. This has been a look at what are the most efficient and best power sources in Subnautica 2, and I'll catch you next time. Bye, everybody, and have a good one.